Hello Silver Wolves, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, today we're going to talk about ways that the old Silver Wolves can make themselves comfortable out here. Now in the past we've talked about Coleman stoves, we've talked about Trangias several different ways. But Mr. Don Shields was kind enough to loan me his Kelly Kettle to do a little review, and we can talk about it. Now the Kelly Kettle started in Europe. And best as I've been able to find out over the years, it was something that was very popular amongst woodworkers, people that built furniture and stuff like that, because in those days sandpaper was not common, and planes were what was used to make wood flat, scrapers. So wood shops were always just full of sawdust and wood shavings, and that's where this little stove comes in, because it was very easy to build a fire inside of this device and boil water quickly for tea or coffee or something like that, or other meals. So let's start out by looking at the actual kettle. Now, as you can see, the kettle has a hole all the way through it. There's a large combustion chamber, and then around it is an outer wall jacket. You have this silicone plug which acts like a whistler. It's got a hole in it, so it whistles. These are designed so that if it starts to build up too much pressure, it will pop it out to keep this thing from blowing up. You never want to plug this in some way where the pressure cannot be let off, because when water goes to boiling in here, it reaches high pressure in a hurry and it will burst this vessel and possibly scald you. So always use the plug that they sent with it, or leave it open. If you lose something like this, always leave this open whenever you're boiling to let the steam out. Okay, now it's got a fairly large chamber, like I said, up in there, and therefore that whenever you put it on top of its fire bowl, and this fire bowl allows me to take just small little nothing sticks, and build a nice fire in here, and every bit of that heat's going to be transferred through that thin wall into the water chamber. It's got a big air hole right here, and other than that, it's just a bowl with a lip on it that it sits on. As you can see, it will sit down on top of it. Now whenever you look inside, where I pull out this plug, you can see the other wall in there. This is the water chamber, and so you'd put water into here and then start your fire, sit this down on top of the chamber, and the heat will come out of here like a chimney. And you could drop small sticks straight down the top to build up. You have a bale with a wooden handle on it. Now you don't want this standing straight up, because look where the fire would go, burning this. So this goes down beside it, and that's the reason it has that wooden handle. It won't be hot to the touch. See, if you'll notice, it kind of stands off. They've strategically placed this plug to hold that handle up off the actual metal side of it. Okay, and what's the temperature? 200 degrees or less, because water boils at 212, right? So it becomes steam. So this outer wall shouldn't ever be any hotter than 212 degrees. Not the 14 or 1500 degrees of the fire. Now this lip up here, that puppy could be severe. We'll get to that in a minute. But the idea is that once it's going, you're going to lift this handle up, and then you're going to grab this silicone cap, which will not be hot to the touch. See, get a hold of it, and then you're going to use that chain to pick up and pour with. So you could pour your coffee water or whatever out, your soup water, etc. Just like that. Then you seal it up and keep it warm and set it back down. Now, since it does not require propane or anything like that, it does have distinct advantages for Silver Wolves. If you're going out where there's plenty of stuff laying on the ground, like you see behind me, it took me about 2 minutes to get all that wood that's in there right now, and that will more than be enough to boil water fairly quickly. And so all you gotta do is just pick up small sticks, snap them into something small enough, just drop it in there. That's it. You want to start the fire in the bottom. This is where those little fire pucks, like I carry, would work really well as a fire starter. One of these Pathfinder Inferno pucks would be perfect for starting it, because all you got to do is just take it, tear it, set it afire, set it down and pile a few sticks on it, set the main pot on it, and then add water. We're going to demonstrate that in a minute. But it'd be really easy to get it going. Now, there are a few other accessories that you can get with this set, and Mr. Don was gracious enough to share with me. First off, there's a little grill. A little bitty grill. This grill folds out, and you can put it across a bed of coals here in the fire pit. Once you get a bed of coals established, to grill you a hot dog or something like that. There's also this base or pot support stand right there. This allows you to set this thing up on something you don't want to burn. And so if I was going to set this up onto, there's one of them, like that. There's two of them in there, and that would allow me to set this thing up as a place to rest the pot. I think it goes that way. I'm sorry, the feet go up. And that way I could set it down on a picnic table, a wooden picnic table or something, and not worry about burning the table, because it'd hold it up like an inch or two in the air. See? And so therefore, that would be helpful, especially if you're traveling with this, because most rest stops and stuff, you can pick up a few little sticks right quick. And as you can see, that picture that they demonstrate right there, that's what they're doing. They're elevating it up where you could utilize it. They also had a small cook set in here, complete with the gripper and etc. And that's so you could set it on top of that and cook on this fire bowl as well. Pretty straightforward and easy. Now, could you cook on this flame up here? Yes, but it's awful hot coming up there. So if you want to take and right quickly, like hold a hot dog on a fork on it and rotate it back and forth, you could cook a sausage or something up there fairly quickly to make a sandwich with, whatever. Pretty easy. A lot of it comes down to just your imagination, what you want to do with it and how you want to do it. It will fit and work really well with just what you can pick up. And so therefore, it makes an easy little stove to work with. Now, we're going to put water in it. Now, let's discuss water a minute. Do not run this without water in it. Okay? Allow steam to vent. Do not seal it up like it said. So, if you're just wanting to cook a hot dog on top of this or something right quick, put water in it, because you don't want to burn it dry, because you run the risk of a seam or something. That is true of anything that is put together like that. You don't want to do it. So always put water in it. Even if you're wanting to use the fire up here, always put water in it. Now, let me add some water to this. We'll fire that up and we'll do a quick cook. Be right back. Okay, I've got my fire bowl sitting there. I frayed up the edge of one of them Infernos. I'm going to get out a match. Tear that so it sits up a little odd, like that. Set my kettle on top.
and start dropping a little bit of fuel down there. I can look, since I can see in this hole right here, I can look down and see how it's doing. Give it a second to catch up. Fire loves chaos. And this is definitely the chaos method. I can look down there and see the fire still going. See the smoke starting to come up now. Just like that. And that should be enough to bring that water to a boil. Now we'll just let it go for a couple of minutes. See that Venturi effect where it's acting like a tornado? Doing really good, generating that heat, and it's transferring it straight into that water jacket. Okay, as you can see, that fire is lipping out of the top. It's been going for about 3 minutes. Got plenty of heat coming out of that. And every bit of that sea is focused right there on that water jacket. So easy method to do. An easy way to control your fire too. You can look in this side window right here where you're getting air and realize where the flames is at. If I'm not seeing coals and stuff blowing out of there, then got plenty of airflow. And I can come up here and look down into it and see the fire going down in there. Pretty easy. Hear the water boiling? Steam coming out right there. Okay. Hear whistling. Boiling water. Now all I got to do is be quick and pick her up off the fire bowl. And I got boiling water ready to go. Now make sure when you pick it up, you do not bring that handle. Notice how I hooked it and I got here and I kind of brought it backwards off the edge and angle. Don't bring your hand straight over it, you'll be in that heat column. You want to give it a chance to come over here to the side and kind of tip it off and lift it up. And you hear that thing still wanting to whisk, whisk, whisk that quick. So, that quick, I was able to boil water for coffee, soup, food, whatever, hot chocolate, in 4 or 5 minutes, really. Simply by the fact I was picking up just small hardwood, teeny tiny limbs, really small, you know. I broke them up into small pieces so that when I would pick it up, I'd just snap it into something small I could easily drop in there. And poof, you know, add water, you've got it. Put it out. It was simple, like I said, don't put your hand directly up in the fire, angle it and tip it off of the fire so it's not vertical in that flame. You don't want to go up there with your hand up there because you would be in a hot jet of flame for just a minute. So kind of bring it up like a 10 or 11 o'clock position and tip it off away from the pour spout. Okay. And then pour, do whatever, and set it down. Then I just simply took a stick and flipped the fire bowl upside down. When I got done making the coffee or whatever, I took the remaining water and put out the fire. The whole operation took less than 10 minutes. Many of the places you go to, especially out west, they will not allow you to have a fire of any kind. So, excuse me, being able to carry this and not have to carry propane or whatever. Being able to pick up off the ground is the next best thing, because with that little fire bowl I can generate fire into it, and I can actually grill on little hot coals. I could also put the stand on it and pick it up off of some sort of surface I don't want to leave a fire ring on, see, and generate again and take care of it. So it does have a place in modern camping. Is it better for silver wolves? If you're one of them that don't want to deal with fuels and stuff like that and want to do natural, it's the way to go. You can easily utilize this in parks, on picnic tables, or whatever, with just a little bit of thinking, and be able to heat up water for your meals, etc., or grill a hot dog, or boil some hot dogs. Now, don't put anything into that kettle, because there's only one way in and one way out. So don't think, well, I'll make coffee in the kettle. You'll never get them coffee grounds out. You know, being able to do stuff with it, you can do it. Plus the little cook kit he's got to be able to sit up on top of it when you're done with it. That would be a way to go, because that stand not only fits under the bottom to raise it up, you can put it up on top as a way to be able to put a pot on that jet coming up. Just put 2 tent stakes across top of it and set a pot on it. And you could heat up a pot of beans or whatever while you're heating up the water. But realize that's going to be really hot. It's got one tent wide open. Just be prepared. Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. And Silver Wolves will be announcing the next class here very soon. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.